What is that, Dan? What are you holding?
What am I holding? Well, in our last episode, we got to chat a little bit about maple tea. We learned a couple things about us here. I think you were a fan of maple as a flavor, right? And
I don't shy away from a little maple syrup.
yeah, Bo, I think said,
Microdosing.
He doesn't tend to like maple because really, I mean, everything he's had maple in was either unnecessary or too sweet and didn't like it, right?
Correct.
And so I proposed, the possibility of him trying this and liking it, because he said he didn't like sweet tea in general, because in the South sweet tea is very, very sweet. But this is more of like a northbound tea, so it's a sweet tea, but it's sweetened with New Hampshire maple syrup. And I don't believe it's as sweet as Southern tea. Like, I've had some people, say, hey, I really like this, but this is like not as sweet as. I know, I've been there. I get it. But, so we brew our own tea and we made our own maple.
I mean, it's the only reason that Lucas and I are here today.
Yeah.
It's because your tea jug brings all the boys to the pod.
And they're like, pour me a cup.
I mean, you alluded to the fact that it was probably
I'm going to start pouring.
Yeah, go for it. Whispers of maple. It wasn't heavy on the maple.
Well, no, there's maple in it. I mean, it's.
Is it on the nose or is it on the tail?
Well, maple is not as sweet as, an equal amount of sugar. Like, sugar is definitely more sweetener than maple. So you can't really. It's as sweet as you would. I guess it's as sweet as I want it to be. But
your tea is as sweet as you want it to be. Now, you said New Hampshire maple syrup. What does that mean?
This maple syrup, the maple syrup that we use in this, was made from a sugar shack, because that's what we have all over New Hampshire and Vermont, a sugar shack.
Yeah, we got to do a little toast.
All right, we're going to toast. We're going to sip together.
Sugar Shack, not to be confused with a Love Shack.
Yes.
By the B-52s.
It's B-52s.
They are represented behind you.
There you go, baby.
Oh, there they are right here. Here's our album here. Ladies and gents. B-52s. Maple Shack. Oh, you gonna give one to our producer? I feel like we're supposed to have some crackers to go with this or something.
No.
Cleanse the palate.
Crackers.
Okay.
All right, Zach, make sure you cut to this toast.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Salud. Smooth.
It is smooth.
Smooth maple tea.
I don't get maple syrup. I get a very smooth, like, sweet tea. So, like, I've had sweet tea. It tastes like sweet tea has tasted before to me. But like you said, with the refined sugars or that sweetener, it has like a weird aftertaste. I guess I'm not tasting like a ton of maple, but I can taste the sweetness. I can't go, oh, that's maple, but it's definitely got a smooth sweetness to it. Better than sugar, for sure.
Okay, I got no maple, which is great.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, it's not giving maple.
So I don't have any maple like bias going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would like this as is 3/4 unsweet tea and a quarter of this.
A little top off of the
with this.
Right.
And I would
and
I would love that. I would love that. I would chug that. That would be delicious.
So,
I mean, this is good.
So maybe no, because if you added
The level of
water,
sweetness is
you'd lose the tea flavor.
No, I just want the tea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So unsweetened tea. The ratio of I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Maple is like, you taste it at the very beginning and then after.
It's light. It's a light maple flavor, but it's sweet for sure. Very sweet.
And it's not the sweetest tea that you've had.
No.
Am I right?
It's
Pretty
sweet.
sweet.
It's sweeter than what I normally would drink, but I've had sweeter tea, like somewhere, at a barbecue place,
I
whatever.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I drank it.
I'm savoring it. Zach, how do you feel?
Do you taste the maple?
Maybe slightly. I like that I can taste the tea though.
Liar, there was no maple in it. Told you he would fold.
Placebo.
Yeah, I'm not
Power of
tasting. I'm not.
suggestion.
I'm not tasting maple. I'm tasting sweet, but in a good way.
Mm.
I'm gonna savor.
I brought a
You brought an ample amount.
jug. So if you want some more, you can have some more. I'm gonna have a little bit more.
Now, is this caffeinated tea? What kind of tea is this?
This is caffeinated. Yes.
Okay.
We do. Do you have a preference? Caffeinated, decaffeinated? When you
I mean, I
think
like-
about your sweet tea.
I enjoy caffeine. It's just if I was drinking it late in the night, maybe I'd have
Oh,
an
yeah, yeah.
aversion to drinking it for dinner. But
Yeah. We have both.
I just don't know what
yeah,
kind
we
of tea you
typically
use.
do
Like,
both.
is it like tea leaves?
It's black tea. It's
Black
not
tea,
like
okay.
hardcore.
Earl Grey.
loose tea. No, it's packaged tea that we use, but we brew it ourselves, and we've dialed this in.
Yeah.
This
That's a
is
good
also
brew.
3 months old.
Does it get better with age? Is this like aged in oaken barrels in your basement?
Aged in maple barrel.
No.
Aged in maple trees.
It's
Aged in plastic jugs.
aged in purified water jugs.
Got lots of
No.
microplastics.
I'm picturing like a giant metal
Yeah.
vat that you brew it in.
Definitely. I definitely taste maple. And I don't know, maybe it's, I have maple often and, I enjoy
You
the
just have
flavor,
a
so I know
better
how to,
relationship with maple.
I know how to identify it. My palate has memorized the maple notes.
It's sticky, which is
Okay.
indicative of maple.
That concludes today's podcast. No, I was joking.
Well, don't look at me. I'm currently highly uncomfortable in my own skin.
We're just gonna have a shot of you. That's it. We'll just it'll be that.
I can't shake it.
It's the maple
Well,
talking.
you look great. So
I don't feel good.
that's all right. We welcome you all to just sit with us in silence on this episode as we just ponder. That would actually be imagine a great episode just like sitting in silence with somebody on a podcast instead of just bantering. It would be like, all right, well, let's just sit together in stillness.
I'm sure that has been done.
I think there was a guy that did it one time, for like an hour with a shoelace. I remember it's a green shoelace.
Oh.
The original plan was for it to be 24 hours. Do you remember?
We're referencing
I said loop it.
some years ago there was a Christmas service we did with the shoestring. And there was some stillness, some pondering.
So the shoestring was used in promotional material, and the promotional concept was to sit in front of a live stream camera for 24 hours and just play with the shoestring. That's where it started, right?
It wasn't
And
my
then-
idea.
And then the idea doing, because it was kind of it was a concept that had been done before, but not with a shoestring. I can't remember what it was. I think it was in promotion of a whiskey or a vodka or something like that, and he was just sitting by a fireplace
Just
with
sipping
it and like for 24 hours or something like that.
in real time.
Yeah, and the guy. Oh my goodness, I'm so not good with names. He's a comedian, actor, married to Amy. No,
Amy Schumer? No, Amy Pollard.
Polar.
Amy Pollard.
Was it? No, I'm wrong. I am so
Is it
wrong.
Nick Offerman
Maybe.
from Parks and Rec?
Yeah. He had a mustache. I feel ashamed.
it was him.
I'm like, I just think that's absolutely.
I looked
who it
at
was.
Zach because I was like, Zach
I-
usually knows those
I
things.
speak Dan King.
Ah, good.
Not married to Amy Poehler. But
Who was he married to?
I don't know.
Amy
It's a
Grant?
blonde movie. The person's
I'm just
name is
gonna
not
name all
Amy
my
at all.
Amy's.
that's
She's blonde.
Amy
She's
Simple
also,
McPherson?
She's blonde. She's also a comedian, I believe. I don't know.
maybe he is.
Blonde comedian?
I think he's
What's
married
the
to a
answer?
blonde comedian.
Megan Mullally.
Megan Mullally.
Megan Mullally. That's right. But she's
SNL?
not blonde. Will and Grace. Fantastic. Fantastic. Her character, Karen, is great in that show. So her husband, it's her husband. Yeah. And so
He's sitting 24 hours.
he sat for 24 hours on a stream and sat
Sipping a
there by
whiskey
the
for 24
fire, and
hours?
You just hear the fire crackling, and it was just like people would see it and long in. So that was the original creative approach that we took to promoting a Christmas.
But there was some
event.
significance with the green shoestring,
Right,
Because
which-
it ended in the SNHU arena. Everybody got a shoestring. And
Everyone got that and had that to take away and had it to continue to ponder on, the point that the illustration was making, So Bo preached a message and incorporated that, and that was a takeaway. And it's usually,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the creative idea dwindled down to something much more simple, where it was you did you played with it for an hour. You sat in a chair. I can't remember where we staged it. It may have been right here in the office.
No, I was upstairs, and it was like a makeshift fireplace, and I believe
Okay, so we went that. Yeah.
the chief encouragement officer was there.
Griswold?
I think he was. I think you had Griswold, didn't you?
Yes,
It was you and Griswold
that's right.
sitting and you
For
were
an
just-
hour. And then Bo was like, we could just loop that. No. I don't think we looped it. I think we just
No, it was real time.
we used it for an hour.
Yeah, he did sat for an hour. And I remember walking by and looking in, and going, "I'm still there."
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Super memorable.
Yeah, I
One of
mean,
my finest moments.
if you probably find that online if you want to go check it out, and you have an hour.
Do you remember the message well?
From Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, well enough.
Yeah.
Had everybody tie knots the whole time. To where you end up, your shoelace was one giant knot. And
So
That's,
do people
that's
like
how
about your
that's what
life?
happens in life.
Yeah.
We're all tied up in knots.
That's a song title. We're all tied up in knots. Oh, it's a lyric in Kings Till They Die.
Tied up in knots. You're welcome.
Everyone's like, "Oh yeah,
Oh,
I got it."
yeah.
Now I know it.
Got their lives tied up in knots.
Yeah.
I just the tied up in knots line. I didn't want to do too much.
With that copyright infringement.
Right. We get
When
a
the
strike.
podcast
We'll get a
to get
strike on
pulled.
our channel, on our podcasting channel.
Sounds too much like the original.
Hot shots with lots of yachts
Got
their lives tied up in knots. Knots being the nautical tide.
Knots.
Yeah.
K-N-O-T-S.
Yes, there was some wordplay.
But it's always K-N-O-T-S.
Yes.
Live the dream like robots. Nothing lasts.
It always,
Always
rots.
rots. Find an idol you adore.
To adore.
Oh, that's true. Is there a song we've never talked about in a podcast?
Yes.
It's probably many, probably more than one for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah. Is there a song that jumps out at you that you would like to talk about?
No, not that.
Hmm.
That jumps out. How about you? Anything that jumps out? Listening to it this morning?
Well, which were you in a playlist or were you
Just all Shiloh battles.
Just streaming
just
the
Shiloh
battles.
and shuffle? I go
Mhm.
Shiloh shuffle sometimes.
Yeah. Just went to the artist page and hit play.
Yeah.
Okay. Let it shuffle up.
Give me whatever you got.
Shuffle up, I guess.
A lot of times when I do that, and it goes to the next song, I'm like, ooh, interesting choice.
Yeah. I've done that on
Oh, you went from that to that. Mm.
yeah. It can be something, you can go back pocket maracas to old fashioned Fridays, and you're just like, okay, it's a smooth transition.
I think I did hear "Make It Beautiful" into Back Pocket Maracas today.
Right.
That
Like
was
stuff
just-
like that's an interesting
Like, oh,
connection. Yeah.
okay, cool.
Just bouts of silence today. There's something to be said about that, though, because it's I definitely, if there's a couple guys that I would like to sit with in silence, it wouldn't be these guys. No, I'm just kidding. No, it would be, and it could be.
Sorry.
All right, well, let's talk about something cool from Scripture then.
Yeah.
Or
Art, beauty, music, Jesus.
All right, this is a cool Jesus thing. So I've been kind of fascinated with this encounter Jesus has with a guy called the rich young ruler, or just referred to. It's not really referred that way in the Scriptures. It's just kind of preachers and people kind of call him the rich young ruler. So there's a guy that had the trifecta of money, youth, and power. That things so health, money, and power, things that we really, really value. And he comes to Jesus and he says, "Good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Which is a crazy question. You don't do anything to inherit anything. You have to be something to inherit something. So you have to be an heir to get an inheritance. Sorry, I'm going to have to preach a little quick sermon here in order to get to the point.
Yeah.
Okay, so he says what, and so Jesus says, keep the commands. And the guy's like, well, which ones? And then Jesus lists 6 commands out of the 10 commandments. So the 10 commandments at Exodus 20, Jesus goes through 6. And recently I was just really fascinated. I was looking, I was like, why did he pick those 6? There's 10. Those are 6 of the 10. And he says these 6. And the guy goes, all those I've kept since I was a boy, or since I was young. And Jesus is like, well, you still lack one thing. Go sell all your possessions, give to the poor, then come follow me. And the guy goes away really sad because he had great wealth. And so it's pretty fascinating. Jesus lets him go, doesn't renegotiate, doesn't be like, oh, it was a bit extreme, But he turns to his disciples and he makes the statement, how hard is it for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven? It'd be easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. And the disciples are like, well, that's impossible. And Jesus goes, yeah, with man or with people, this is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. So the nature of salvation being identity, and that we can't save ourselves, and that, but tying this like to money and identity was kind of the cool thing there. So I circled back to those 6 commands, and I looked, and sure enough, Jesus doesn't quote the first 4. The first 4 of the 10 commandments have to do directly with our relationship with God. You shall have no other gods before me. Do not make an idol for yourself. Do not take the Lord's name in vain. and remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. And I was looking at that and I was like, oh, because I've always thought this guy had a money problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this guy had a money problem. I don't think he had a money problem. I think he had a worship problem. And so Jesus hits these other 6 that have to do with our relationship with people. Don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't kill, all the ones that have to do with people.
Don't covet.
Yeah, but it was about his relationship with God. And so he was like, all right, so we can handle that. We can solve that. Change your identity. Don't be the rich young ruler anymore. Go sell everything you have. Leave it. Come follow me. And anyway, so like even thinking about taking the Lord's name in vain would be misusing his name, but like to be his follower and not actually follow him. To say I'm his follower and not follow him. That kind of identity piece. I just thought that was really, really insightful. Like just fun to think about, like what Jesus was doing there with quoting those 6 and not the other 4.
It's funny you even brought that up because I read that story this morning because the verse of the day was, with man it is impossible, but with God all things are possible. And then I hit read full chapter, and it was that story.
Mm-hmm.
And I read that this morning. I didn't see it in the way that you just kind of laid that out.
I think today was in John, and I was quoting the one from Luke.
Oh, okay.
So they're slightly different, but it is the same.
Story.
It's the same story, but yes.
Yeah.
Same commands. That part.
It's the identity piece. We, like you said, heirs, right? We're sons by adoption, sons and daughters by adoption. We've been grafted into the family of God because of Jesus, right? And I think I was saying something even before we started filming today about the need that I've found myself having of going through the list of why I'm deserving, why I might be qualified, why, immediately when I feel that, I almost feel like Jesus is telling me, hey, sell everything you have, give it to the poor, and come follow me. Like, I feel like that can be a statement that the Lord would make to me when I have get into that sort of like mental spiral of, well, I've done this. Like, Lord, I'm and it's like not about what I'm doing. It's about who I am in him. And it's about the fact that I was lost without him, and now I'm adopted into his family, and I'm a son. And I can only ever really understand that when I start to think about my own children, about who they are, because they're from me, and I love them, and there's, like this unconditional love that I have for them, irregardless of what they do or what they achieve. You know what I'm saying? But even me being evil, if I know how to give good gifts to my kids, how much more does your Heavenly Father give to all those who ask? So it's just, these are all the thoughts I'm having as you're sharing that, because it's like it taps into all that for me. But it's definitely the identity piece of like, it's not about how many things I've done or what I am doing or what, but I'm working for you, Lord, and it's like, sell all that and come follow me, and come away with me and hear my heart. Anyways, yeah.
Well, that even some of that like identity on eternal life or heaven. I mean, that's an old thought that goes back into, am I good enough? And will God let me in? But then it's like it comes down to, does God owe me? Do I deserve it?
Right.
Am I better than other people? What's my scale? How do I measure it? Who am I measuring against?
Mm-hmm.
What's the number? Like, I got to be better than 50% of the world. It's like 51%, 41%. So, or like how do we deal with that? And it's pretty maddening. And like somebody recently, just a friend, said something about, well, I think I've been good enough. And I just said in a minute, very sincerely, like it wasn't a shot or like a point or like a preacher moment. It was just a friend, like just a buddy. And I said, hey man, if it was based on being good, totally, because you're a really good dude, but that's not what it's about. And I mean, he received it because he goes, hey, thanks for saying that. I was like, because he's a good dude. And that can be hard. I mean, that's like kind of what Jesus was saying too. Like when you're a good dude, when you're a good person, this guy, the rich young ruler, was a good person.
Yeah.
Like people were looking up to this person. The way he measured his life on those 6 commands, he's like, I'm flawless. I'm sure he wasn't, but
yeah.
But there wasn't anything to argue about that. He was a good, and there are people who navigate like relationships well and don't cheat people and don't lie and don't steal and don't covet and, are faithful, and they're good and moral in that way, but it's not good enough. And it was like, so maybe this guy was rich in good deeds as well. It's hard for the rich to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
So it's like even crazier to go, it's hard for somebody who's morally really good as opposed to recognizing they're morally bankrupt. Because they're comparing themselves to other people and they're like, God would owe me this.
Yeah.
It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. So, and Jesus meant it. It's impossible. A big double hump, giant camel going through the eye of a sewing needle. That's what he was talking about. He wasn't talking about anything else, no matter what you've ever heard before. I assure you, he was not talking about some imaginary place where there was a gate that was called the eye of a needle and a camel had to get on its knees to crawl through. That's like preacher speak, urban legend, myth thing out there that we tend to like because then we're like, well, it is possible if I just humble myself enough and I can do it.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I can
That's
kneel.
the point.
Yeah, I can kneel down.
I can be good at no, you can't. And that's so you can't have enough money. You can't have enough good deeds. You can't be a good enough person. You can't be morally sufficient.
You're taking it right back to the premise of his question, which I think you said earlier when you were talking. What must I do? What if he had said,
Who must
I be? And that anytime I'm gonna cherish that and hold that today, and I'm gonna move in that, because it's like anytime I'm gonna feel myself saying, what must I do? I want to change that question to who must I be? And then the answer to that question is already there. You are who you need to be. You're a child of God. You're bought with a price. You're in relationship with God. It's nothing I'm doing. It's just who I am because of Him. It's His identity. That's the question.
Okay, Dan, drop some knowledge on us.
Come on, Dan. What was in that tea? Give us the tea.
Any thoughts on the worship problem aspect of that?
No, I think it's by referencing those 6 commandments that you said have very much to do with our relationships, and it's we're gonna worship something. We're all woven and wired to, and if it's not Him, then it's gonna be something else. If it's not God, it's gonna be something else. And so what it was really revealing in those 6 commandments is the worship was of self. And usually if it's not God, it doesn't matter what the object of your affection is, it's all for you and reveals the heart of every man, right?
Or God created in your image instead of you being created in the image of God. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And how much more must I think of myself and value myself that God would owe me or that I would deserve because inheriting, you know what I mean? What do I have to do? It still puts it on that person. And honestly, there's some boldness there. I don't know how the rich young ruler approached him in regard, if it was like seriously intently, or if it was with some,
Confidence,
arrogance, or if it was like, hey, Jesus, like, come on, tell me the inside scoop. Like, what do I got to do? Because I've done it all and everyone loves me and I'm everyone's friend. Like, was it from that? I mean, so doesn't know the tone, but
It doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
And that's a
It
good
doesn't
question.
matter. Yeah.
I've preached that text a lot, and I've preached it with at least 4 or 5 different tones. And what I realize is the point's always the same.
The point's always the same.
I kind of want to make it be about what Jesus was commenting about this particular individual. He's not.
Right. He's not. Yeah.
It's
no.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. And then from those 6, it just reveals the first 4. And so it's not, I don't know if it seems clever of Jesus. Like, Jesus already knows the 4, and, he could have just said like, hey, you're worshiping yourself. But no, he knows him, and he knows the matter at heart. And with all of the love and all of the care, and he navigates and handles him well with truth in love, and allows that to reveal. And
yeah, I haven't researched this, just chewing on it the past week or so, like that particular the 6. But I mean, it could also be, they could have been like a common rabbinical, like I'm sure, like, while I had never, that I'm aware of, heard or read about the 6 and the 4, or any separation of this. I don't think they're really separate, but then there could be like some schools of thought and some common rabbinical teaching, things of that nature that would have been really, pretty obvious and commonplace, that we've just lost in, Western Christendom or something like that. I don't know. I mean, that could be the case, but either way, like, it's so interesting to just be like, oh my goodness, one thing you still lack. Go basically die, which is what Jesus said. You want to be my disciple? Okay, here's what's going to cost you. Lay down your life. Salvation's free, but discipleship costs you everything. Lay down your life. Take up your cross. Follow me. Go sell all your possessions. Give to the poor. Then come follow me. Let go of all this.
Yeah.
He might give it back to you. Let go of all of it. Like, that's not who you are. And that's what worship is. Open-handed.
Yeah.
Open-handed exalting. God, you're greater than me. Not, God, I'm bringing you all this. So again, it goes back to you owe me, God.
Yeah. Well, the four of those too were also rooted in, like you said, Dan. It's like idolatry. The biggest idol we have is our own opinions. Like the idolatry of our own opinion and our own will, and sometimes we prop that up above God. Period. What do I feel? What do I need? What do I want? And I've heard you say something, Bo, recently that resonated with me. We were in conversation. I don't even remember when, how, what, or where, but it was something along the lines of like, we're all wrong. We're all looking to be right, but there's levels to that, because no matter how right we are, there's still wrongness in there somewhere. There's got to still be this still. So it's just like, are we in this competition to be slightly more right than the other person? What is the heart of God? Where is God?
Whose experience and whose reality is the actual truth of a matter?
Yeah. And but that's an idol too, an idol of rightness, an idol of, like, from my vantage point, all I can see is rightness, and so therefore I'm the rightest one in this in this situation.
But you're still all wrong.
You're still wrong. You still can be wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm not all wrong.
But I'm more right than that.
No.
It's like, well, how much sin, how much of our missing the mark separates us from God? Is it, if we're separated from God, by 1 foot versus 100 feet? Well, I'm only separated from God by 1 foot. You're separated from God by 3 feet. It's just like now we're in a competition of who's who's less wrong. But I think
it's how dead are you?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
How dead are you?
How long have you been in the grave?
Not even. It's just how dead are you? That's what we're actually talking about here.
Yeah.
Is God is life, and so the wages of sin is death.
Mm-hmm.
So the consequence of sin is death. There are no levels of death.
Dead is dead.
Dead is dead.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, it goes back to like the poison. You could drink a whole bottle of poison or just have a drop. It doesn't matter when one drop will kill you.
One drop, yeah, you're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah.
So one sin brings death.
Mm-hmm.
So whether it's a little or a lot, we're all equally dead.
Right.
And separated from life, and God is life. So that's why we die to self and
then I love the
have a new identity in Him.
How much more to be told that, or to realize that and still walk away sad?
He missed the point.
You know what I mean?
He thought Jesus was attacking his money. Jesus was attacking his God.
I don't know that he missed the point. He may have known.
Missed the point.
He may be
That's what I'm
right.
thinking. I was like, he walked away like
so?
sad, like.
Well, because he had great wealth, but I think the wealth possessed him. He didn't possess the wealth. Like you said earlier, you could God to give it all back. I don't I've heard you say you can you can't serve God and money, but you can use money to serve God. So like money's not the enemy here. It's the god of money. You cannot serve both God and money or mammon. Like you can't be possessed by that and do the will of God, because now you're in that financial system and you have to bow to that financial system and how to do it and how to lie and how to twist and how to cheat and how to.
Well, wealth, whether it's the youth, the wealth, or the power, it's all about his identity. So whether the word wealth was used there or he walked away sad because he realized he had a great life. He had a great life. His identity was the wealth, the everything else.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
he walked away a sad man because he had much. I don't want to.
Well, no, I mean
because
how do you die to
his identity?
It's hard to die to self when you think your life is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. Now, what's going to get really interesting, because our conversation just went exactly where the Gospels go, because what Jesus says next is he tells the story about the workers in the vineyard, and that the first shall be last and the last shall be
different
first.
Wages.
Right.
Gave them the same wages.
Right.
They worked.
Well, I mean, same wages, different amount of
Right.
time. Yeah.
They work different amounts. So this is the very next story he tells. He's like, the kingdom of heaven is like this. So they're like, who can be saved? Oh man, this is hard. He's like, yeah, it's easier for this, but with God it's possible. The kingdom of heaven is like a guy who goes and gets workers at dawn and agrees to pay them a day's wage. And then he goes back at 9 and and says, come work. And then goes back at noon and all the way to 5. And at the end, he says, okay, pay the ones who were here last first, all the way down to the ones who had been there all day. And he pays them all the exact same amount of money. And the ones at the end, of course, were grumbling. They're like,
we've been here all day.
We've been here all day.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I agreed to pay you a day's. Why are you grumbling? Are you mad about my generosity?
Yeah, but is he doubling down on the thought of people now get money focused? They now get wage focused. They now get like what I'm owed focused versus who I'm working for, and it's all his and none of it matters. And so he's like, okay, they came and worked for me, but now they forgot who they were working for. Now they're getting caught up on the wages.
They're working for money. The same with the prodigal son.
Yeah, the brother, right?
You have the older brother.
Yeah.
I didn't. Where's my party?
I never disowned you.
I didn't go anywhere. I didn't squander anything. Where's my fatted calf?
Yeah.
And the father's like,
What do I
this
gotta do with
is
it
your
here?"
fatted calf. What are you
everything I
talking
have is
about?
yours.
Everything I have is yours. This is your party.
Yeah.
These are your friends. This is your family.
That's your brother.
That's your brother. This is your fatted calf. Like, it's all yours.
Yeah.
It's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Blessed are the poor in spirit.
Which bless the morally destitute.
Yep.
Yeah.
is
Like,
how that can
at
be
the core of
translated.
their
Yeah.
being.
Yep. I've heard that. Yeah.
The morally bankrupt.
Yep. Morally bankrupt. Yep.
No recourse.
He who's forgiven much loves much. And you're like, well, the person who sinned more. No. He who was forgiven much. Well, what do you mean? They know what they were forgiven. They know it's much. So it's how we take stock of that forgiveness, because we've all been forgiven much, but some haven't been forgiven much because they were good and they did all 6.
So can I read the chorus of a song I'm working on lyrically.
Some lyrics, yeah.
Some lyrics I'm working on from Isaiah 25. And it says, "On this mountain, Lord Almighty, prepare your finest feast. On this mountain, Lord Almighty, we all receive your peace. On this mountain, Lord Almighty, justice is finally served. On this mountain, Lord Almighty, no one gets what they deserve."